Hello, I'm Emily McManus, the teacher librarian at NLK Middle School, and I'm here to share some of my favorite historical young adult books with you today. Escape. That is the one common mission in the three stories of Refugee by Alan Gratz, told across decades. Joseph, a Jewish boy in Nazi Germany, must go with his family on a ship to the other side of the world, unsure what he will find when he gets there. Mahmoud's homeland of Syria is torn apart by violence and destruction in 2015, and he and his family must head towards Europe. Isabel's country of Europe is full of unrest and riots in 1994, and she is determined to find a safer life, even if it means climbing aboard a leaky raft heading towards open waters. In Havana, the streets were full of rioters. Isabel and her family were terrified of the police, and danger was all around. She traded her treasured trumpet for gasoline for the tiny boat that she desperately hoped would carry her family to safety in America, and she helped carry the boat down to the beach. It was small and rickety, but she felt lucky when they arrived at the water, and she saw more than half the village trying to sail on inflatable rafts, boats made of styrofoam and oil drums, and a raft made of shipping pallets and inner tubes with a bedsheet sail. In one of the most heart-pounding scenes, Isabel and her family have struggled to drag their boat to the sea, looking out for police the whole way. Isabel waded into the water, the waves lapping up to the bottom of her shorts. She was almost to Poppy's outstretched arms when she saw her father's eyes go wide. Isabel looked back over her shoulder. Two of the policemen had broken from the group and were running towards the water, toward them. "No, no, they're coming for me," Poppy cried. Isabel fell into the water and swam the rest of the way to the boat, but her father was already climbing over the side. "Start the engine," he cried. "No, wait for me," Isabel yelled, spitting seawater. Will she make it to safety? Will Joseph and Mahmoud help their families find new homes? For all three, the hope is for a better tomorrow. Joseph, Isabel, and Mahmoud show their courage and bravery as they fight for freedom and survival. There is one final chance for survival for the three characters in Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, the Wilhelm Gustloff. Florian, Amelia, and Joanna have lived through World War II by any means necessary, and they each have secrets and desires they can't share out of shame, loyalty, or survival. Florian is an artist from Prussia, restoring art he realized was stolen from the Nazis. He managed to steal one of the treasures, his hope for a new life outside of Nazi rule. Joanna is a nurse, trying her best to use her skills to help the many sick, injured, and dying she encounters, no matter how helpless. She is haunted by earlier choices and guilt about her inability to save those she loved the most. Amelia is Polish, 15 years old and pregnant, alone after her parents were killed, and pregnant with the baby of the Soviet soldier who violated and terrorized her. She creates a fairy tale in her head to escape the horrors she's experienced and her fright at how she and the child she is carrying will survive. Now they and thousands of other refugees are desperately racing towards the Wilhelm Gustloff, a ship bound for freedom. They know this is their last chance. They know the ship cannot possibly hold the thousands racing towards it, yet they go on. Walk on Earth a Stranger by Ray Carson is set during the gold rush of 1849. I can sense it before I see it, feel it deep in my bones, a tingling warm electricity that blurs my other senses. Everyone else is desperately seeking what I know is there. They're dying for it, killing for it, and I can feel it all around me. The only people I told my secret to are dead. The one man who discovered it is trying to hunt me down to use my gift. My name is Lee Westfall, and I can sense gold. Everything has been taken away from me, but I'm determined to make my way across the country to San Francisco, to safety and freedom. I'm disguising myself as a boy, and I'm trekking across the country with a wagon train of strangers. I figure I'm as strong and smart as any boy, and I'm not afraid of adventure or hard work. I'm not sure who I can trust, and I'm scared, but I know I can make it to California. Will you come with me on my journey? Helpless, down for the count, and I'm drowning in it. Explore the deeper story you loved in the musical Hamilton. In this book, Alex and Eliza by Melissa de la Cruz. The first in a trilogy, you will meet two characters who desperately want to be seen for who they are, not the preconceptions of their past. Eliza is the daughter of a wealthy man in New York, raised in a beautiful mansion, knowing from the time she could remember that she was expected to marry a great man, to live a life as a wealthy woman, aloof and unknown. Alexander was born in the Caribbean, a bastard and orphan who worked his way out with only his own wits, cunning, and hard work to find a position alongside General George Washington. He was not the man her parents expected her to marry. Hers was not the passionate, exclusive love he had ever sought or ever expected. And yet, from their first meeting at a magical ball, sparks flew. Alex and Eliza seamlessly combines history and the imagined interior lives of characters, as in a real letter to Eliza that Alexander wrote. He wrote, "Beloved by you, I can be happy in any situation and can struggle with every embarrassment of fortune with patience and firmness. I cannot, however, forbear entreating you to realize our union on the dark side and satisfy, without deceiving yourself, how far your affection for me can make you happy in a privation of those elegancies to which you have been accustomed. Your future rank in life is a perfect lottery. You may move in an exalted sphere, or you may move in a very humble sphere. The last is more probable. Examine well your heart. Will Eliza choose a life of guaranteed comfort, or take a chance on an unknown future with the man she loves? Read this book to find out more about a love story for the ages, one that changed American history." Some short story collections encourage you to dip in and out of them, like a pool on a warm summer day. Others, like this one, make you want to immerse yourself until the last page. This book, All Out, the no longer secret stories of queer teens throughout the ages, tells the fictional stories of queer people throughout history. From the Middle Ages, the Victorian era, Gold Rush, stories about characters like real people who were there all along yet left out of most historical accounts. You will meet Robin Hood in 14th century England, born in a girl's body and now a handsome, brave young man. In this story, the first time we kissed, our bodies bronzed in the emberlight, our skin a mosaic of shadow and fire, Robin cupped my face and set against my lips, "I'm not like the other boys, Will." It was the first kiss of many. I would remember his words years later before the last, but I never actually heard his voice. Speech was touch, and sight was without sound after the illness. A pulse of air stirring my hackles, a glimmer of light playing over his mouth. My ears heard nothing, but the rest of my body learned new languages. For me, Robin spoke concisely, carefully, so that I could read his lips. I treasured every word more than gold. That's from the story Every Shade of Red by Elliot Wake within this book. You'll also read about two gay magician assistants in 19th century London, a black teenager in Maryland in the 1970s coming to terms with her asexuality, a beautiful romance between two gay women in 1930s New Mexico, and more. Romance is a theme throughout the book, along with adventure, but the real common theme is authors exploring young characters who are on journeys to understand, accept, and know themselves and their place in the world. 1906 San Francisco is known for its famous, terrifying earthquake, one of the worst and deadliest in the United States history, killing over 3,000 people and destroying over 80% of the city. In Outrun the Moon by Stacey Lee, 15-year-old Mercy Wong, like thousands of other San Franciscans at the time, has no idea their lives are about to be violently shaken and reshaped by history. She is smart and spunky and determined to escape the poverty of Chinatown. She loves her family, her father, her little brother who is sick, and her mother who is the best fortune teller in the whole city. Her mother, Lee Ha, reminds Mercy that she tells fortune-telling clients that they cannot change their destiny, but they can change their perspective. Her mother says, "Destiny is like the moon. We can see it differently by climbing a mountain, but we cannot outrun it, as it should be. Mercy's best hope for a brighter future is St. Clair's School for Girls, but it is off limits to all but the richest white girls in the city. When she finally is admitted, she must survive the mean girls, competition, and prejudice. Can she be happy living in two worlds at once, holding on to her family's culture and traditions, while embracing the more stable future this new world presents? Will Mercy, her classmates, and family survive the devastating earthquake? Destiny has a plan for Mercy. Will she be able to outrun it? Find out in this book. I sincerely hope that you read and enjoy all of these books. They are some of my very favorites. Thank you.